Welcome back to the show, and we're moving on to the last and final segment. It's the 2nd of May, 4 months already down. How has your workplace been? It's a big question. Harassment today is also coinciding with bullying, and it's also the way a person takes a harassment into their mindset, because sometimes pushing a person, locking them up in a room cannot be the only harassment. As Kosala said, yes, it can be verbal. Sometimes it could be the little silent attacks that you do for an employee as well. And that's why we have this young lady to do the honors to speak to you on her book that she launched recently this year, and it's called Bully & Co. by Fiona Nanayakara. We're here to speak to you in detail about the book, how it will help you in terms of your growth, because sometimes we've found a lot of people who'll be very silent. This is not only for women in particular. We're talking about anybody and everybody in their workplace. This is especially in the corporate field. She's a wealth of experience. She's been covering from a number of industries, and here she is on this show to talk to you. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Keeping well?
Yes.
Tell us directly about Bully & Co. What is it about?
So let me cut to the chase. Basically, the Bully & Co., if I may, it goes into 3 sections, right? So the first section describes about how this is a problem, how employees and employers are affected by it, litigation fees, employee retention. Then apart from that, people who don't see the problem as a tangible problem, like for example, you're a salesperson who brings in 2 million worth sales a month, and I'm your boss and I harass you, and then you quit your job. To replace you, I have to advertise, interview, recruit, train, induct. That person has to learn about the staff, they have to learn about the clients, the processes, which will take a minimum of 3 months, right? Which means the company will occur a 6 million loss within 3 months, right? So the first section is about showing the problem, right? So the middle section is where I had to really put in a lot of thought, because the stories are very boring incident reports when you have to explain this. This is one of the main reasons people don't document it, right? So here I have taken it easier for people to understand. I've taken cartoon characters to explain, because this is not a storybook. This is for a person who wants help, right? So I have taken characters to show, at different circumstances how, different people act, right? And that is where I showcase where you realize, okay, is this a bullying incident or not, right? Third section is the most important part, where this is a self-help toolbox, right? So it's very simple steps. It's not necessarily hardcore, just legal action, because even when I was researching for the book, I thought, okay, maybe I need to find something, legally verified so that they can take some legal action. But no, we are living day in, day out with solutions. You and I both have these solutions, right? It's just that we don't know it. Right? So here I have documented them. So first of all is documentation, so that people know that, you're writing these down. A lot of people, a lot of targets don't do this because they don't feel, and most of the time they are in the situation, they don't know how to get out of it. So another tool is, detaching yourself from the bully. Right? That also you would have known it. It's like any relationship, right? It's if you are having a bad relationship, you think, you take a step back, and then you look. Okay, are you doing something right? So before you get to the toolbox, there is also some area where you can figure out if you are the target or not. Because sometimes I might think that this is just me.
Correct.
So that is the book.
That is what the book is about.
So you did tell about identifying the problem. Like, say, what are the main problems you see as bullying in the corporate world?
Okay. Main problem is if you are getting bullied as a target, your motivation level goes down. And let's face it, no company can thrive without an employee's motivation. Just because you're getting paid, you're not going to come to work every morning. There has to be something more. So the employer also has a direct impact by the employee's motivation. And also when I was researching more about it, they can directly relate these motivation factors into the sales spectrum, where we directly link it to the bottom line of the company. And then you see, these many disengaged employees are not going to really serve the company. And also it's their mentality. So there was many instance where I would have quit myself, right? And you know, so many of my friends have quit work, good employees have quit work, and they're at home because why? They can't deal with adults. It's not adults, it's professional work environment that we need to conduct.
Right.
Also, the pressure that being applied also comes under this.
Yes, and also we see so many different characters. Sometimes, like in the book I explain, some people have a motive. Some people don't have a motive at all. They are just corporate criminals. Just like we put criminals in jail, we put psychopaths in jail because we can't understand their mentality. It's something like that, but they are in the real world where we work.
Building up on your research, what was the most common factor in Sri Lanka that you have noticed, if you'd like to share with our viewers?
I hate to say it, but it's jealousy.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people are jealous, and this is one of the main reasons why people can't grow. You know, I'm always watching what you're doing. You know, one of the even if somebody is jealous about me, I know they can't write this book, right? I can't come here and present the TV show like the way you do or you do. You know, I don't have your knowledge. So without going there, without trying to be the best version of myself, I'm trying to be you.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. So that's one of the main reasons I feel in the Sri Lankan context where people haven't really figured out their own strengths in order to give something better to the society.
And I think it's also the little counter-attack that, for example, more like a boss employee has, because when sometimes it could be that education is much higher, I have more experience, and here I am seated at the wrong spot, whereas that
Exactly.
little discomfort.
Yes. And also, like now, only education is becoming a bit more important. You know, back in the day, it was more experience and expertise. So then, our bosses become people who are really not qualified as we are. You know, but the thing is, they still can develop an authentic way of leading. You know, without studying. You know, if they learn. There are so many leaders I know. For example, I had a boss, you know, and he was way senior than I was, but he was doing his diploma when I was doing my master's, right? But he was so supportive, you know. He gave me the research information for my MBA assignment. It was
supportive.
Yeah, it was that supportive, and in return, I helped him out, you know. And now he's also qualified. We are both good people because of the way he managed. But if he deprived me of education leave or not letting me for studies or exams, I wouldn't have been the same.
Exactly.
You know, and we would have both not grown as people.
Yeah. Fiona, one other thing is that harassment is often not spoken. Some people wouldn't know that I've been harassed, whether it's verbally or not. Sometimes it could be like, oh, that's that person's behavior. That's how
They are.
Yeah, exactly. How did you come across that?
It is like this. It is what we really set a norm. You know, if you are in a, like say, husband and wife, now by principle, you know, you don't swear, you don't talk to them rudely. It's a matter of respect. Right? So there are codes in the workplace also. When you come to work, you can't be screaming and shouting, taking your personal anger. We are all coming here to work. You know, 9 to 5, we are here to work. And then, you know, we need to give our best for the amount of money that we are getting in return, like
Correct.
for the income, right? So what you need to understand is, are you really dealing with anxiety when you're going to work? Right? When you're waking up in the morning, are you thinking, oh my God, I don't want to go to work, right? Not today. Do I really have to? Or am I just falling sick? You know, that's when you know something is making you lose sleep. You know?
Correct.
And a thing like work shouldn't make you lose sleep. You know, it's everybody's working. You know, everybody's working for a living. We are working to live, not the other way around.
Correct.
It's also the confidence that comes in you, isn't it, Fiona? Like, say, as you said, if you fall asleep and say you don't want to go work, that means your lack of confidence level is also like
Exactly. And in the long run, if you are actually a target, you go through this over and over again of anxiety created by somebody who really doesn't mean anything to you. You know?
Yeah.
Your boss is only meaning something to you because you see him or her day in, day out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not your husband. It's not the father of your child, right? Why should you really lose sleep over one individual,
Yeah.
right?
So that's some of the common areas that people would say. Let's talk a little bit about the toolbox. That would be probably a lot of solution, bring a lot of comfort to a lot of people. Let's go through that.
Okay. So if I explain, I had to refresh my memory as well because it's a lot of research.
But just to interrupt you, I think, Kashan, there is photos of the book launch also going while we speak. So
no problem. So the action toolbox, first I talk about the written account. I don't think I need to emphasize. So when I was researching this, I found out not only local research, but even the benchmarked website that I work along with, right? Even they don't have much help. You know, they also have, okay, you can do this, you can do that, but how can you help yourself really was not really emphasized, right? So I talk about the written accounts, learning about your policies. So you need to learn. Say, for example, I'm your boss and you're denying a job that it is not your role. It's so much easier if you just learn what I do.
So
right?
is there laws related to this that people should learn about?
No, I mean, there are no such laws. Now, more and more companies are going into proper business code of conduct. You know, in multinational companies, I've seen code of conducts, but in local companies, it's not taken very seriously, right? Because they think, oh, people are supposed to know. This is how we are supposed to work,
right?
You know, but people don't know that. People should know, oh, you can't talk to an employee like that. You can't bribe. You know, you can't bring up their maternity leave as a way of penalizing their year-end evaluation, because that's a female employee's right.
Correct.
You know, some people don't know that.
And sometimes it's embarrassing that they might ask during an interview, so are you hoping to have a baby anytime soon?
No, you can't.
Yeah, I think that's a common then other questions that I think come across is like, say, when a female goes for into, like, say, how are you going to handle your kids if you're going to do this job? Because I think those don't come into play.
And in fact, this question came in a forum that I went to, how to support children in the country, right? And I was very shocked to know nobody really brought one pediatric. She said that why don't we keep the mothers close to the babies? The babies are not nourished because, you know, the mothers are not close by to see the well-being of their child. So the mothers are going abroad for a living. They're not with their kids for a reason. And someone said, oh, women are not created the right platform to work. It's not a matter of women are not created the right platform. I think men and women should have equal platforms to work. Why are there truck drivers in European countries and we don't have truck drivers?
Correct.
Females. Because here we hire a male thinking, oh, we can take this male and ask him to work from 9 to 9. Whereas if we take a female, we can't make her work because she has a family to run. So it's not really a equal rights issue, it's actually a human rights issue, you know, like even men should be given a certain amount of time period. Why are men supposed to work harder?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it comes down to all the balances, and it's how you perceive, your perception is on the whole thing, and also how you inculcate on that.
Yeah.
Where can we buy the book?
Yes, it's available at Sarasavi, all 3 languages, and on Amazon, the online version. But I bet everybody is more interested in the hard copy.
So we got the singular version for you as well. Kantoru Hinsanen Midena Maga by Fiona Nanakara, and we got the Tamil version for you as well. So it's quite easy, it's available online, and you can check out more details and information on Fiona Nanakara's first. This is the first book?
Yes.
So what's coming up next?
Well, it's not so much of a book per se. Maybe I'm looking at ways I can help out on the same topic, because surprisingly, when I was looking at research, I found it so difficult to find information, you know, on a local context to see how many people have left. You know, but whereas even when I was inviting people for my launch, how many people opened up to me, right? How many people couldn't come for the launch because their bosses wouldn't support my cause?
Oh no.
Right? Was really an eye-opening for me to know that someone needs to talk about this subject. So it might not be a book, it might be in a form of a website or a Facebook page, in ways that I can help, because this is...
Fiona, just coming back to this book, you mentioned about the toolbox that we have at the end. How effective would it be, like, say, if we go through the book, how can you, like, make it to practice to use the tool?
Exactly. So this toolbox is something that I have worked for 10 years in the corporate sector, something that we have worked out, and my research didn't concise into literature. You know, it was online. I just randomly went on Facebook, see who else is getting harassed. Like, you know, it's just Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, people who are just talking about their bosses or someone who's being a gatekeeper at their office. Just research, you know, just research which is available. And I have compiled this toolbox in a way that things that people have worked out themselves, you know, and also experts who have worked in the country to make this happen. So research goes a long way, actually.
Right, Bully and Co, there's a special Facebook page, I'm told.
Yes.
Right, and you feed in information on that?
Yes, I try to give as much as information as possible because a lot of people don't have the time to do this. So I have all this information which I've researched, write the book. So I'm going to share it with everybody. You know, it's not solely my content, but we are in a world where there's so much global content, right? It's just a matter of knowing the right keywords to look for the right thing.
Yeah. Children being bullying is a very common factor. They go and tell their parents, they tell their teachers, etc. It's a bit of an open forum. But being bullied in office, being harassed in office is something that you don't talk about. You're very silent about it. Sometimes you might tell your best friend, and that's why we've noticed, or we've heard in the recent past, a number of people committing suicide due to work stress.
That is
this is a pressing issue at times, because sometimes it could be based on entrepreneurial business. It could be on your workplace. We don't know what exactly has happened, but then it's like the final solution. Okay, I let go life.
Yes, I mean it doesn't come down to an office place actually. It actually comes down to your personal life as well. Say for example, I'm a single mother who I have 3 kids and I'm the sole provider of my family. I try to go to work to make a living, but then in the morning somebody's there to, you know, harass me. You know, I'm trying to make a living, ends meet basically, nothing more, just trying to get some money to live. But day in, day out, I'm being harassed. And in our context, it's a lot better, Sharon, because I feel when I was researching, a lot of people have been in physical harassment situation as well, where, you know, the people throw things at them, you know, and I even saw this lady's, you know, table, they have put some firecrackers and which caught fire and which it was an explosion which burned her arm. So it can go into that level as well, right? But the reason I don't talk about physical and sexual harassment in this book is because it's kind of easy to prove. We have CCTV, people can now have a legal case, you know, for sexual
incidents like that.
But when it comes to other harassments like manipulation, lying, like we just really don't know how to say it because it seems really pathetic. Oh, this one said this, that one said that, you know. Nobody wants to listen to a Montessori conversation at a workplace.
And I also think a lot of people don't stand up for what is right. For example, there might be incidents where employees don't get their bonuses, whereas they have worked throughout their entire year, and then someone who really deserves it doesn't get it, and someone who really doesn't ends up getting it. So it's quite sad that we see incidents like that.
Oh yeah, it is. And also I have seen bullies often get promotions, right? Because they are very good at putting something on. You know, they're very good at absorbing your knowledge and talking about like, oh, this is my, you know, my subject.
Correct.
Right? So that is another tendency that, you know, a lot of bullies, that's why they get promoted as managers, you know. But at the same time, and people don't know how to fight for their rights. Like I have gone through objective settings, like KPI settings, where you can't perform 101%.
Correct.
Right? For 10 years, bosses have had their KPIs for 100% performing, you know, measurement when they can't actually perform the 110. So how do these people ever get increments?
Yeah.
You know? So it's really unfair how people have been treated. And if you don't know your things, just like any subject, right? Even if you're studying, even if you're on this TV program hosting this show, if you don't know the in and outs of it, people will take you for a ride. Right?
That's right.
So in a workplace now this has become a norm. You need to know your rights. You need to know what is normal. Can people treat me like this? You know, if I'm giving this respect, am I getting that respect back?
All right, Fiona, I think we're almost coming to the end of a very important, very interesting discussion. Unfortunately, time is permitting us to go on and on. But before we wind up, any particular person or any people that you would like to thank who got to help you out to get this book on the road?
Yes, of course. I would love to thank the media. Media has been really supportive because even after the launch I have gotten great feedback. Even you have brought me on this TV show. Thank you so much for this opportunity, because subject like this and not coming from a corporate company, right, people actually opening their eyes up to someone who's willing to talk about it is a huge deal. So I would like to thank the media a lot, including Rupavahini and Channel Life, for bringing me in today. And apart from that, my translators who have worked with me, the cartoonists, my publisher Sarah Savi, and my family who has been there for me. I launched on my father's 60th birthday. My best friend and Lasra, who has actually helped me out with the first draft. So it was good support, it was good teamwork, and you can see a big project coming in to reality without having employees, you know. Normally if I'm to do a launch, I'll have my set of team. So this was very successful, single-handedly handling it. So I must thank everybody who partnered with me for Bully & Co.
Right, brilliant stuff, and we wish you all the very best. May this be not just one, but I hope you continue to do more and more as well. Right, Tuesday's edition, this is the positive note. So in case you've been harassed today, don't go to fight. Handle it in a very calm situation. First buy the book, read about it,
And
read
also,
up about it.
I would like to mention one more thing. If you need help, you can also reach me out on the Facebook page, because it's no point having all this information if I can't reach out.
Reach out to people. Right, that's how we do it.
Yep.
And we're good to go.
Yes, time to say bye-bye. It's for Tuesday's edition of Rise and Shine. Bye-bye for now.